Why does your water really smell, and what are the hidden causes and easy fixes? Does your water smell like chlorine or a bleach-like smell? Maybe your water smells like rotten eggs or sulfur. It could be musty, earthy, or moldy smelling. We get a ton of complaints about a sewage smell. Some of our customers have rusty or metallic water. We see a lot of people with fishy or an ammonia-type smell. Sometimes people say their water smells straight up like gasoline. We've even had complaints that people say their water smells sweet or fruity. If you smell chlorine out of your tap water, it's likely because you're on municipal water and your local facility adds chlorine to kill the bacteria. It's a really normal, common way to kill the bacteria in the water, but it's not a very pleasant smell, and honestly, it's a little harsh on your skin too. The most common complaints we get from people that are municipal water really is hard water and the chlorine. We tend to really recommend people getting a water softener if their water's too hard, and to get the chlorine out, all you need is a simple carbon filter. You can get carbon filtration set up so that it works in your entire house, or you can get a small carbon filter, like something that fits in a Brita, or even at the tap directly on your sink. We help people with every type of solution possible. If your water smells like rotten eggs or sulfur, it likely means that you're on well water. Have you ever walked into somebody's house and you immediately smell that rotten egg smell or that sulfury smell? That likely means that they're on well water and their water isn't processed, and that their water isn't treated. We help people all the time that have a really smelly, sulfury smell in their house. If your water's musty or earthy or maybe even tea colored, it's really likely that you have tannins in your water. We most commonly see tannins in your water when you're pulling from lake water. It happens because there's leaves and other organic compounds that just kind of slowly break down into the water, which causes that tint. Honestly, unless it's really bad, it's not really unhealthy to drink. It's just really unappetizing to look at, and most people really want to fix their water. If people have a metallic or rusty smell to their water, it likely means that there's a lot of iron. We see that all the time in well water mainly, although it can be in other sources too. Beyond the smell, it also tends to stain the toilets or showers or kind of anything that's hooked up to the water. We highly recommend getting an iron filter installed to remove your iron. If your water smells fishy or like ammonia, you're probably on lake water. Honestly, the fish themselves really do contribute to that, and it depends on the population density of that specific lake. A lot of people that are on lake or well water that have smells that they don't want, it can be a simple one-stage solution, something like this, where you could have a carbon filter and a sediment filter, and then your UV, which would make your water safe to drink. The carbon filters really should remove most of the smells and look, or cloudiness, or tannins, or anything that makes the water not look clean and clear. Carbon filters tend to clean that up. They also remove other harmful chemicals like lead, even gasoline or benzene, or things that spill into a lake, or surface water from boats or jet skis or things like that. It's important to address smelly water for a handful of reasons. Most of our customers that have bad smelling water, they're intimidated by the cost or what it's going to take, the type of effort that goes into solving the problem. So they just start by buying bottled water and using that in their house. At our store in Midland, Ontario, people come and fill up their water jugs all the time. That's a service that we provide, and we have a commercial reverse osmosis unit in our basement that purifies all the water. However, it's extremely common that our customers also come to us and they say, I can't carry one more jug into my house. I'm getting too old, or I've done it a million times. I'm sick of swinging by your store all the time to fill up the water. So then we start explaining to them all the different systems that we have that we can provide. The first step is always to test somebody's water. We do free water testing at the Water eStore, so if you want to get your water tested, I'll put that information in the link below and you can send us a sample and we'll test it for free. Once you have your water tested, then we can start to identify exactly what your problems are. Some of them are easy to spot because it smells or looks a certain way, but some of them you really need to test for. Things like iron that can stain your toilets or your tub or all your appliances, that tends to be pretty obvious. Tannins make your water a tea color, so that's obvious too. But there's other things like how hard your water is, or bacteria that you could never visually see or really smell. In most cases when we work with our customers, it ends up being less tedious than they think it's gonna be. I'll admit, we do have some customers who their water is really bad and they do need multiple stages to fix their water. However, most of our customers really can get away with using something like this, a UV rack system, where there's a sediment filter, a carbon filter, and then a UV filter. Then you know your water is going to be safe when it gets into your house. If you're interested in learning more about UV rack systems, A link is here. Now, not all of these are gonna fix the smelly problems that we've talked about. Specifically, if you have a lot of iron in your water, this isn't gonna solve that. You're gonna need a separate iron filter. However, a system like this really could solve a lot of your other problems. You would only need a UV system if you're also trying to kill the bacteria, meaning your water source is a lake or a well water. Do you wanna know how UV systems work? I'll put our video here. If you're on municipal water, you won't need a system like this, but you can get individual carbon filters like this that'll remove all the chlorine coming into your house. Another thing that we commonly help customers with is getting them set up with a reverse osmosis system. Typically, the people that want the reverse osmosis system want clean drinking water so they don't have to come fill up jugs or buy bottled water all the time, but they want a really inexpensive fix as opposed to doing a whole house system, which can be a little more expensive. Really low quality reverse osmosis systems, you can find them on Amazon, they're made in China. They tend to be, I don't know, a couple $100. You're really on your own when it comes to installing them, and of course there's nobody really to call if you're having any problems or you need maintenance. Your best solution is to order from a company like us, the Water eStore, where we can help you choose the appropriate reverse osmosis unit or carbon filter or anything else that you need, while making sure that you have the support that you need in case you need additional parts or advice on how to install it, or even if your plumber needs to ask us some questions or needs an explanation on how something works, we're happy to do that. The ultimate goal is to have clean water to drink, but also it's really nice to have clean water in your entire house. Typically, people that have reverse osmosis water are really happy with their drinking water because they have a separate tap at their sink and they just drink from that. However, like if you have a rotten egg or a sulfur problem, those customers tend to want to get the whole house filtration set up because their whole house smells like sulfur. I've walked into people's houses and I can smell it right away. It also makes you hesitant to drink the water, even if you know that it's not harmful, like it might not have bacteria in it. It just doesn't smell good and it's not very appealing. It's also strange to get in the shower and think that you're cleaning yourself, but then you also have that weird smell that's going on. So a lot of people want to fix that problem purely for aesthetics or when they have guests over or for that reason. Are you interested in learning more about reverse osmosis? I'll put that video here. People that have been dealing with bad water for a long time tend to forget how bad their water is. When they get a new system or a new setup, they tend to be extremely relieved and really excited. We kind of say you can save money now by just getting bottled water or filling up your jugs and bringing them home. Of course, you're saving the money from installing a big whole house system, but over the long run, it's tedious, it takes up a lot of time, and it ends up being a lot more expensive than just biting the bullet and getting a whole system installed. So what are your options and how much does all this different stuff cost if you have smelly water? The reverse osmosis systems that we sell, which I'll link here, tend to be in the $400, $500, $600 range. A lot of our customers install them themselves. We have a lot of videos on how to do that, and we can help people over email or phone. The other half of our customers tend to just hire a local plumber that does the installation for them. When it comes to whole house systems, they tend to be a little more involved, so it's nice if you're handy or you just hire a local plumber to do the installation. Once we test your water, we can give you all the recommendations you need to get rid of your smelly water once and for all. Your water source is the main reason your water might not smell great. We have a lot of people that are in municipal water, lake water, and well water, and each one of those sources kind of brings in its own issues and problems. If you're in municipal water, it's likely that it's pretty hard. It's also likely that your municipality is using chlorine to kill the bacteria, so you smell a little bit of that chlorine coming off your faucet when you turn it on. It's not really super harmful to your body, but it's not great for your skin, and honestly, it doesn't smell great. To fix municipal water, we just tend to use carbon filters. Something as small as a pitcher, like a Brita filter that has a carbon filter put in it. A reverse osmosis system would be installed at your sink and would be a separate tap, and that would have filtered water. Or you can get a whole house system that runs through carbon filtration, something like this, but a single stage. That'll take care of all the chemicals like chlorine. People that come to us that have lake water and have issues, a lot of times it's tannin issues. Maybe there's weird smells from earthy organics. Lake water has a lot of stuff sitting in it that's slowly deteriorating, which contributes to like an off color or a musty, moldy, organic smell. The best solution for people that are on lake water is a system similar to this, or just like this. This rack system has a sediment filter, a carbon filter, and a UV filtration system that also kills bacteria. If your water's coming through here, it should be clear and also safe to drink. When it comes to well water, that's where we see the biggest variance in test results from customer to customer. It's amazing that we see people that live not far from each other have wildly different results. At the same time, we also have customers that are all in the same area and their water results are almost identical. So when we have people that have bad smelling water and they're on well, a lot of it tends to be iron. Sometimes they'll need a multi-stage system to fix their smells. So if you want to remove your iron, an iron filter is the best solution. We sell iron filters, and if you're interested in learning how iron filters work, check out this video here.